week's Azure and AI show, and we have Chris here with us. Chris is an MCT and an MVP, and he's going to do a talk for us. And we have Priya there as well, and she's a new MCT. Congratulations. So, Chris, you're up first, and we've got Dan Ray and myself, Frank Falvey, of course. So, Chris, I have your screen up here. We can see it there now.
Okay, great. So, nice to meet you guys. What we will see together, we will talk about Microsoft Copilot for Security, which is, let's say, the new artificial intelligence teammate against threats. And I want to give you a sneak peek of what is all about. First of all, as the guy said, I'm a Microsoft certified trainer since actually year 2000. Sorry about that mistake. And I celebrate my anniversary for 25 years today being a Microsoft certified trainer. I'm also an MVP and I'm located in Thessaloniki, Greece. You can check the map to see where I do actually live. So, let's go on and check the agenda. What we will see together is I'm going to describe you and show you what Microsoft Copilot for Security is, and I will give you some examples about how can you use Copilot for Security and what it actually does, how it works. So, this is, let's say, the marketing slide of Microsoft when they want to advertise security with Copilot. Actually, Copilot for Security is a tool that is already integrated into Azure and into Microsoft 365 admin portals, and specifically where you have to deal with security. Okay, you will see a lot of examples and you will realize how can you use it. Microsoft says that we can actually solve all these mysterious messages and things that we get in the security portals just by using natural language. And that's the good thing, because when we deal about security, all these portals, they give us some, let's say, very difficult to understand messages. So what Security Copilot can do for you, can analyze all these strange and weird messages that you get from security and make them easier for you. When you use Security Copilot, you have to choose between these two experiences, as Microsoft says. It's the embedded experience, and this is actually what I told you about already. It's a tool that is already integrated in Microsoft 365 Defender, Purview, admin portals that have to do especially with security. The other experience, it's the standalone experience. It's actually, let's name it, let's describe it as a website where you can actually use prompts more or less the same way that you do it with ChatGPT. I'm sure that everybody is familiar with ChatGPT these days. So what you can actually do, you can use your prompts by using natural language, but the standalone experience is also tied and integrated with all the other portals. So assuming that you get an incident ID from Microsoft Defender XDR, you can grab that specific number, the incident ID, and you can directly paste it, use it in the standalone experience, and ask Security Copilot to analyze everything that is going on related to that specific incident. So it's very good because you can get a lot of suggestions, recommendations about the tool, about what's happening, what is this incident all about, and what should you do in order to to have better security in Microsoft 365 and Azure. So let's see some examples. This is the standalone experience. It's Security Copilot through a dedicated site. It's the URL of that specific site is securitycopilot.microsoft.com. And as you can see, as some examples here, the following script was detected. Can you analyze and determine if it's malicious? So you actually give to Security Copilot the scripts and it can go through the analysis. Take a look at another example. Provide brief summary of the most recent attacks to your company. Or another one, show information about the last login from a specific user. The tool will analyze everything and will give you back the result. Another thing that you can do, instead of using, let's say, these ready-made prompts, you can use the, the prompt window down here, and you can ask in natural language about all security incidents and get back all this information. So actually, the user can make a request in natural language and receive responses as text, images, or even documents. This is the standalone experience. The embedded experience looks more or less like this. As you can see, now I'm in Microsoft 365 Defender portal. I would like to write a script for the advanced handling that is located in Defender. The only thing here is I don't know how to write the code. Okay. What can Security Copilot can do for me? I just go and write the prompt down here, get logon attempts by domain accounts targeted by credential theft. And Copilot for Security will give me the exact script that I can add it and run it and get back the results. Imagine how useful is this, because a lot of people do not know how to write scripts, custom query language scripts that are used in advanced handling. So you just describe to Security Copilot what do you want to do actually, and will give you back the script to use it in advanced handling. And this specific button, Security Copilot, is present in every security portal that you can use in Microsoft Azure and in Microsoft 365. So let's do some quick demos to actually understand how it works. The first one is to investigate failed login attempts automatically. I would like to use prompt books with logic apps in Defender, XDR, and Microsoft Sentinel. What is a prompt book? A prompt book is a set of actions that are already there, and you can use them to embed them in a sequence. You will see that in a moment. So let's go and try to investigate failed logins attempts automatically. If you check the standalone experience of Security Copilot, there is already in the prompt book library a prompt that says fail login attempts automation, and you can run this one, and if you want you can run this and see what it's all about. Take a look at this. When you try to run this prompt book, it will run the following query to identify failed sign-ins. Then it will ask GPT to provide a representation of the above table result in JSON format of the top 5 records. It will run a reputation scoring for the IP addresses identified in the prompt above. It will use Microsoft Defender and run geolocation for the IP addresses identified in this specific prompt. And the final and the good one is it will give you a report that you can use it to present it to your manager, to your security team, whatever. Okay, this is a ready-made prompt book. You can run your own prompt books, or you can even change these ones with, let's say, maybe different outputs here. So if you get this prompt book and you embed it in a Logic App Designer in Azure, it will give you something similar to this. You can take a look at this Logic App. I would like to investigate a Microsoft Sentinel incident. I would like to get information about failed logins. And as soon as you run the query, the results of these queries will go to Copilot prompt book, the prompt book that I showed you a little bit earlier. It will submit this to Copilot, and it can create a report or even send you an email, send an email to your security team. So as you run this Logic App, you can get an email similar to this one. all the failed login attempts with all the information that you need. As you can see, this email message came from securitycopilot@contoso.com, whatever, and this mail is being sent to the SOC team here of our company. So all the security team will get a similar information like this one. Investigation report, anomalous sign-ins, and the summary of the findings. Let's check another one. I would like to instantly get a report that analyzes a suspicious script. And when we talk about suspicious scripts, in many cases, it could be something like a PowerShell base 64 encoded script. And if you check that script, you cannot actually get an idea of what it does. Security Copilot can analyze the script and give you back the results. So we can get a report that analyzes a suspicious script using, again, prompt books with logic apps in Defender XDR and Microsoft Sentinel. So take a look at this. A prompt book that already exists in Security Copilot, it's this one, Suspicious Script Analysis. So the following script was found as part of a potential security incident. Explain what this script does step by step, and give me all the information that I need. Provide the reputation of any IPs or host names found, list any threat intelligence correlated to indicators found in the script, extract all indicators from the script that could be used within a detection query, and based on the actions of the script, give me specific recommendations for how to respond to this script if it were executed in a corporate production environment, and then summarize the findings. So if you include this prompt book again in Logic App Designer and submit, let's say, all the information that this script will do in Copilot for Security, you can get, we're in the incident page in Microsoft Azure, and Copilot gave me all this information back. A PowerShell script was identified that decodes a base 64 encoded command to retrieve a URL. As you can see, you have all the information about this script will do. So defines a function, threat intelligence, no relevant threat intelligence was found for the following indicators, okay? But the best thing here is that it gives you response suggestions. What do you need to do? Immediate response actions. Isolate the affected system, block the URLs and the IP addresses, collect the data, and log analysis. So you get the actions that this PowerShell script will do, but you also get suggestions. Okay, let's check another one. Uncover and manage hidden data risks. In this scenario, we will use Microsoft Purview Data Security Posture Management. Okay, so if you check the new Purview portal, you can see that there is a new button here, Data Security Posture Management. I don't really remember if it's in preview, still in preview, but anyway, it's going to be there. So if you click on that one, you have some other actions that you can do with Copilot. One of them is this, detect sensitive data leaks. And there is a specific prompt book here that says which sensitive files were shared outside the organization from some point in the last week. You can use this as an example, or you can change it a little bit and get your own results. But anyway, what you can actually do with data loss prevention in Purview. I would like to find if there is any sensitive information that was leaked outside my company. Okay, and that's really very important when we talk about data loss prevention. So if you run this, you can submit a query in Copilot for Security. Which sensitive files were shared outside the organization from some point in the last week? And Copilot for Security will give you back the response. In the last week, the following sensitive files were shared outside the organization from SharePoint. For the first file, the second one, and the third one. As you can see, there are two Word files and one PDF file. The next thing I would like to do is this. Show me the activities involving highly confidential label files, or what are the labels of these files, or even show me the users who shared above files externally. And if you check this and if you think about it, it's very difficult to go and get that information by using a different way. How can you check which are the users that shared this information externally? Okay, you can actually ask Security Copilot for this. The next thing I want to do is to give me a list of all label downgrade and exfiltration activities on files related with Project Obsidian information, related to these files actually. I would like to know if some users downgraded the sensitivity labels in Purview Information Protection. So just give me all the activities related to label downgrade and exfiltration. These are the results, and Copilot for Security gives you all the activities. As you can see here, we had the first activity, the second activity, label downgrade again, exfiltration activity down here, and another exfiltration activity down here. And I would like to know, now that I've got the results, I would like to know how can an adaptive protection policy in Purview can help me prevent this in the future. So we know we have the data, we have the information, but we would like to do something to protect all this information, and we do not want this happen again in the future. So when you ask this to Copilot, it gives you everything that you need to know. What do you need to do? With examples here, you can do this using policies. Adaptive protection policies can be manually configured or set up using quick setup options, and it gives you all the necessary actions that you need to do. Let's check another one. Troubleshoot issues with speed and precision, reduce attack surface, and streamline workflows. And this is the Security Copilot integrated in Microsoft Intune. Okay, so let's take a look at this. If you log into the Intune Admin Center, you have two specific options here: policy management and troubleshooting. Okay, and again, all these two options are available because we use Microsoft Copilot for security. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to run some queries to actually discover devices and what kind of devices I want to discover. Take a look at this. Copilot will still suggest you some prompts here. For example, show me Windows 11 devices, or show me TPM2 devices, or even show me the devices with Intel CPUs. I would like to do something different here. The prompt that I want to ask Copilot is this: show me how many devices running the Windows version, that one, have not patched in the last 20 days. Summarize the recent updates count. Display the device name, operating system version, and architecture for those devices. Okay, and when you run this, we'll get a custom query language, a query, and you can actually add this query to the editor or even add it and run it. Remember what I was telling you earlier, not everybody knows how to write, how to use these scripts. Okay, with Copilot for Security, we have the script ready, and when we add and run it, we'll get the results. This is the script that Copilot suggested. I've used that script, and I have a list of all the devices that match that specific query. Okay, the next thing I could do is to use Microsoft Entra, Microsoft Copilot for Security in Microsoft Entra. And what I would like to do here is to quickly assess user risk and get actionable remediation recommendations related to user accounts in Microsoft Entra. So now I'm in the identity protection dashboard in Microsoft Entra, and what I can do, could be this: show me my most recent high-risk users. Okay. And as soon as you run this prompt in Copilot for Security, you get the results. We have 4 users. Here are the most recent high-risk users identified in your Microsoft Entra ID. And this is actually something that is done using data from the identity protection dashboard. But anyway, you get the information here. And probably the next thing that you could do is to click on a specific user, because as you can see back here, we have all these risky users. And if you click on a specific user account in Entra ID, you have the risky user details, a summary of what happened and why this user is considered a risky user. And the next thing is what to do. Check to ensure this user is in scope of this risk-based conditional access policy or a user policy, whatever you like, and also the relevant documentation here in case you want to use it. As soon as you get that information, you can use the identity protection dashboard to user is safe, or dismiss this user risk entirely, or even if you want, you can still block this user right away just by using this identity protection dashboard. So another thing that we could do is, okay, we found some risky users, but let's check what happened one day before this incident. For security, show me the sign-ins for the user one day before the alert, and actually gives you that information. Sign-in details one day before, and as you can see here, the user used the Azure portal to sign in by using a specific IP address, using a browser, exact location, the device. The status of the sign-in was success because MFA was used anyway. Another IP address and another one. So you get all the information related to that specific user sign-ins one day before the alert. And now that I have this information, I would like to check what MFA methods are available for that specific user, just to be sure that the user is using MFA. Okay, we are lucky here because it tells me that the user used the password authentication method, and of course Microsoft Authenticator on an iPhone. So I just need to know that the user uses a secure sign-in method to connect to Entra ID. Okay. The next thing that I would like to know is how to remediate the attacker in the middle threat for a specific user, because after all, the information that I got from this incident, it was actually a attacker in the middle threat for that specific user. So I would like to know what I need to do to remediate this threat. And Copilot for Security will give you all the necessary actions that you need to do in order to protect that user. Reset the user's account credentials, revoke access tokens, use number matching in Authenticator, block the IP address of the attacker, and all the actions that you need to do. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how can you get Microsoft Copilot for Security. Actually, you need an Azure subscription because it's based on Microsoft Azure anyway. And when you get Copilot for Security, you need to specify your Copilot capacity. What is the Copilot capacity? We need to specify how many secure compute units we need to get in order for Copilot for Security to run. And Microsoft recommends at least 2 secure compute units. Okay, so as you can see, I need to use the Azure portal to specify my compute capacity, okay? And down here, I would like to use 1 or 2. Microsoft recommends 2, as I told you anyway. The next thing that somebody probably wants to know is, what about the cost of Copilot for Security? So The cost, if we use Azure pricing calculator, it's more or less like this. I've used as a region West Europe. I've specified that I need to get 2 secure compute units per hour, assuming that you run these secure compute units 24 hours a day, 30 days a month. The cost in euros, excuse me for the euros, but okay, more or less you can find the correct amount you can think about. The cost for 2 security compute units is this one. Okay. And now there is the big announcement of Microsoft Ignite this year. Microsoft already announced that for all customers that use a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription, Copilot for Security will be included for free. Okay. There is an article that tells you how much security compute units you get. Practically, depending on the number of users that you have in your Microsoft 365 E5 subscription, Microsoft gives you a specific number of security compute units depending on the users that you get. And that was the big announcement, I think, of yesterday through Microsoft Ignite. Okay, so if you get, let's say, 40 users in your Microsoft 365 E5 subscription, you get a specific number of compute units. If you have 1,000 users, you get more and more and more, depending actually analogically on the number of users that you have in your subscription. Okay, so thank you very much. I don't know if I'm out of time. I think we are okay, Frank.
Yeah, we're ahead of schedule. You're fine. Very interesting seeing all those different examples there, and how Copilot can actually drill down through the actual, we'd say, attack or whatever. The DPL, data loss protection, is very interesting there as well. So you can actually see who's actually taking data and what data. Very interesting.
Okay.
Good job.
Good.
Thank you very much, guys.
Well, so Dan, any questions on that?
No, I think that was a wonderful demo, and liked your examples.
Yeah.
My idea was to give you some, let's say, sneak peek of what it does. So that's it. Thank you very much.
That's great.